Right here we are putting an 88-48 lock together. So because this is an 1.5-inch back set, we have a special configuration where it's tough to fit some of these things in. So the first thing we have to do is take the case, the case, and put that bolt in place, just like that. Next thing we have to do is put the toggle in place. All right, and now we move on from here, putting the base front in over the toggle and bolt. There we go, just like that. And now we can secure the base front with the 2 base front screws. So here I am securing the base front with the 2 base front screws. Sometimes it can take just a little bit of work to line that up. So, 1, and 2. There we go. That's in place. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is put in my retractor lever. There we go, that goes right there. There's the pivot pin for the retractor lever. Some people call it the hub lever. So there we go, pivot pin, retractor lever. Now I'm going to, I've got a spacing bushing, I'm just going to put that in right, actually I won't put that in right now. Then I have my exterior hub, and I have my hub spacer ring, and my interior hub. There we go, just like that. I'm going to take the retractor, I'm going to push back the retractor lever, and I'm going to flip this whole thing over. I'm going to put one of my case and cover screws in, and that's going to screw into the retractor and hold it in place. It's going to screw into the retractor if the retractor's lined up. So let's try that one more time. There we go. Now I put that screw in, it's going to hold the retractor in place, everything's going to move around the retractor from this point on. So my next thing to do now that the retractor is secure is to seat the auxiliary spring, auxiliary retractor spring. There we go. Push that there and then just cinch it over. You can use a flathead screwdriver to line that up just like so. Now we've got a couple more things yet to do, but let's get the tough things out of the way. And one of the toughest is seating the toggle switch spring. So I put that in. Line it up on center. Son of a gun, this is definitely one of the toughest things to do. So let's try that one more time. And what I have to do is get that up to there. Put my spring wire in and push the whole thing together. And this might be easier without there's something you have to be careful of. This stop lever can't get stuck on the base front. So I'm going to loosen the bottom of the base front to get that unstuck. There we go. Now that's done. I'm going to put that base front screw back in a second, but first I've got to seat that thumb toggle wire spring. So there we go. Sorry, I'm moving things around out of your view. I apologize for that. So, click that in like that. You got to seat it both top and bottom. I guess the best thing to do is compress that. So it turns out there's not much space for seating this. So what I decided to do was to take the base front back off and seat it with the base front out of the way. So I took the base front off. I'm gonna click that in place and drop it in, and I'll put the base front on, and it'll be held in place while the spring is tensioned. So excuse the. There's a better way to do this. I just don't have the set of pliers to do it with. There we go. Get that back. This in place. And now let's seat that base front. Son of a gun. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I did that off camera. I was holding it against my chest while I seated everything like so. And this is supposed to be higher up, like that. So there we go. It's now in place, but if I let go right now, I'll lose that. So I'm going to put these two base front screws in. I apologize. That's pretty bad. One, get the other base front screw in, and two. Now on the larger versions, you have an extra 1/4 inch of space right here, and you can actually seat the wire form and then drop the tail of the spring in place over that pin. So that's done now. Flipping back and forth, I'll drop this stop in place, just like that. I did what I said before not to do, which is get your retractor lever, your stop lever stuck. So let me fix that. There we go, stop lever is now unstuck. This has got to be longest assembly videos so far. Having trouble with that wire form on the tight back set, the narrow back set. So, there we go. Okay, now let's drop this in place. Just like that. Good. The stop is now in place. Pretty good. Pretty good fit. The remaining parts we can get in pretty easily. Here's your thumb turn hub, just like so. Here's your latch bolt. We can drop that in place, drop the spring in, and slide that in. And the latch bolt is actually supposed to go behind. The tail of the latch bolt is supposed to go behind the retractor lever. So what I'm going to do here is cheat and loosen this up so that I can move the retractor lever. I'll just stick a screwdriver in there and slide that forward. So now the tail of my latch bolt is behind the retractor lever. I'm going to tighten that back up. There we go. That's the screw I put in to hold the retractor. So we've got a couple of things left. One's the cylinder latch retractor lever, and that goes right there. And sometimes you'll see a cylinder latch retractor lever in a lock that doesn't use a cylinder, but it's there because it helps hold the deadbolt spring in alignment. Here's that spacing bushing. Now we're going to seat the main retractor spring, and we can do that just by grabbing here and twisting and pushing down. Now you want to make sure you keep your fingers clear. That retractor spring is a lot of force and could tear a hole in you. So make sure you do that carefully, have a firm grip. Let's seat this. This is the retractor guide plate, and it sits right here, lined up like so. The last thing to put in is the cylinder screw bracket with the V facing towards the cylinder. There you go, the point of the V, and now we can put the cover on. So when you put the cover on, you're going to have to line a couple of things up. Cylinder screw bracket, thumb turn hub, the tail pins, the guide pins on the tail of the bolt and the latch bolt, the deadbolt and the latch bolt, the stop, the lever hubs, the retractor, guide bushing, and so forth. So what you can do is line up a couple at once and put a screw in and then snap the others into place. So that's what I'm doing. There we go. See, here is my thumb turn hub. I can grab a bar or a spindle and wiggle that until the case drops down. Now you see here the tail of the bolt is not seating. So let me grab something to turn that with. Thought I had a. So here we go. To get that pin to seat properly in the cover, I'm going to throw the deadbolt, and you're going to have a little bit of resistance there because I can't throw the deadbolt because I still have the.
What were you looking for?
Oh, I'll borrow that too. Thank you, Edson. We're going to have to seat that in a minute. But first, I've seated the lever hubs and the stop. So let me put these two screws in the bottom. Lever hubs and stop are seated and tracking properly in the cover and case. The last thing to do is throw that deadbolt and get its tail in place. And you'll see there's a little bow in the case here. So I'm removing the screw from the retractor. Now the retractor is free, and you'll see that the latch bolt pops out when the retractor is free. And now that the latch bolt has popped out, I can throw the deadbolt and get that tail pin to seat. And you'll see it's still pushing. There's a lot of force there. I'm going to gently tap just like that, and that pin pops into place, and I can put the screw I've been using for the retractor, for fastening the retractor, while I put the spring in place. I can put that in the cover. So I got my 4 screws back in place, and I got my lock in working order. So you see I can throw the deadbolt. When I throw the deadbolt, let's see, what do we got? I have a stuck Why is that stuck, Louis? Oh, it's stuck because the deadbolt's thrown.
Oh.
There we go. Of course. So, checking function, make sure you understand your function, right, Louis? I'm going to check my latch retraction. Okay, and when I throw the thumb toggle, the exterior hub is rigid. The outside hub is rigid. And the inside is free. And you'll see the inside, this lock set has emergency egress. So if I throw this, it'll retract both latch bolt and deadbolt. So there we go, the 8848. Sorry for the length of the video.